Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Packer Universe podcast, aka the Pup List. We're a Green Bay Packers fan podcast, bringing you topical and relevant Packers news, along with our most humble, subjective opinions. This is episode 332. We're recording this live on Wednesday, October 29th, 2025. The Packers won big on Sunday Night Football against the Steelers to go 3-0 since their bye week. And finally, after a stretch of away games, they're back at Lambeau Field on Sunday to take on the Carolina Panthers at noon. I'm Tay. I'm your host, and joining me with hopefully a better connection is our one and only
Ren. What up, Tay? Sorry about the TD, the technical difficulties this past Sunday night on the first take. I didn't give you any first take, unfortunately, but what a second half, man. Jordan Love, 20 in a row. Crazy. Yeah. Aaron Rodgers never did that in his career, Tay. That's so awesome. And he did it against Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
A lot of people were kind of before that game talking about this will be Jordan Love's final, he is him, he has arrived game. And I would say people that called that, they got it 100% right. 360, 3 TDs. National Tight Ends Day, Tucker Kraft, 7-143. Everybody out there contributing. Obviously, we had the return of Christian Watson, adding about 84 yards, 4 for 84, something like that. Romeo with the touchdown. Obviously, Tuck with the 2. I mean, the ball is getting spread around. You can see how Christian obviously starts opening those things up. It's great to have him back, man. And what a second half, tale of two halves. You thought, I found it funny to reading, just the Twitterverse of Pittsburgh Steelers fans and sports media after that game, like crying about Packers should have been called for the offsides. Tuck on that one. He pushes off. Well, there could have been defensive PI on that one too. He gets pushed before that, so equal opportunity. But yeah, I mean, Jordan 360, 3 TDs, like I mentioned earlier. Just what a game, and they really dominated the Steelers. I mean, at what point they were down 10 and then finish up 15. I mean, crazy stuff, man. It was a great game on the road in a place they hadn't won since 1970. Get that one checked off the box and wearing the winter whites. So it was, or like to call it the white cheddar nowadays, Tay.
White cheddar. Hey,
the white cheddar, yeah.
Any way you slice it, man, it was good cheese. It was good cheese.
It was. Aaron had the sucking on a lemon face on the sidelines in the second half, and you had to go to the silent count on at home. Gave props to the Packer fans that travel so well and having to do that. He had a little smirk at the end, like, that's those are my fans, and he said all the right things leading up the game, like he's a retired Packer, and he's trying to reingratiate himself, and he knows the end is nigh.
Yeah. So great. I'm glad you got to chime in after not being able to on the first take on Sunday night. You're out in the sticks somewhere, Ren. Are you doing? Let's give us a quick brief here.
I'm standing right now, but I've been standing in water, standing in corn stalks, just hanging out in the middle of nowhere, watching flat prairie land go by and some beautiful sunsets and hopefully enough ducks to fill up the sky too. So
you're a hunting trip, huh?
Yeah.
Very, very Wisconsin of you. Good job.
It's super Scotty. I am. There's ditch chickens out here too, Tay. Yeah, if you get bored in the afternoon, you can do that as well.
Now, I alluded to the fact that you were in one of the Dakotas, not stalking Tucker Kraft's hometown, but
just a bit south of me by about an hour, I want to say.
Okay.
And I know they cut to that his hometown a number of times during the broadcast.
Now that's adjacent to Minneapolis or Minnesota there. So are there Vikings fans out there? Are you doing some recruiting?
This is more Viking country. I did stop at in Hankinson where Cody Mock, I think he's a offensive lineman, I want to say, for the Buccaneers is from. They got a big billboard as you drive through town. He's got his big old smile with missing 2 teeth on it. Nice. They're pretty proud. When I popped in there, there was a guy wearing some Packer gear. So it's out here, but this generally in North Dakota, there are more Viking fans. Yeah, absolutely being Minnesota adjacent than there are Packer fans. But there's a number of Packer fans out here as well.
Good to hear. Well, we'll move things along a little tonight, Ren, a little faster than normal, just in case,
Yeah, I took a dip in the marsh the other day, Tay, with some waders on, and phone was in there. So it's been a little hit and miss with the charging port the last couple days. So
a little touch and go. Well, we'll move along, but I just wanted to mention, we beat the Steelers. We look like a really good team at the end of that ball game. 25.5 million viewers watched Sunday Night Football. Great day for Love. Great day for Tucker. Watson being back is helping out. Wyatt being back on the other side of the ball, defensive line is being has a huge effect. If I can talk, so it's great having him back. Kicking game is a little left to be desired. We don't. Again, we're
the defense again. Tay, there were the things up on pictures of Rich on social media. How do you feel about this guy now? And exactly, a lot of should have been fired 2 weeks ago. I think I said that, but
no, you did. You called that one. Rashawn Gary gets home a couple times now. Him and Micah are tied with 6.5 sacks each, which is amazing. I feel like that's just the beginning here of this pass rush and their effectiveness and getting to the quarterback. So, they're on pace to mid double digits here for sacks, maybe even both of them. So that's feels so good to finally see that coming together. Josh Jacobs, he's a little banged up, but I think they're kind of like right now he's averaging 20 touches per game, 20 touches per game. And I'm not sure if that's just because of his injuries. It probably is, but you also think, well, you don't want to run him down. But, he's not showing extravagant, on the stat sheet. But
another TD in the game. I mean, the last few before that, he's averaging 2 a game, but
that's just it. That's just it. His TDs are what, man? I think he has 9. I mean, he's on pace for high double digits too, maybe in the 20s, which is crazy. But he's never gone over 100 yards yet. But again, I still think he's outside of Love's performance on Sunday, he's still, I think, one of the MVPs on that offense. Conversions, getting first downs, it's all crucial to winning. So props to him. I hope he doesn't really have any injury issues going forward. I think hopefully that he heals up a bit and we can get him back on track. But I love that. I love Emmanuel Wilson coming up and being able to
old number 31, now 23 in your playbook, Tay. But he was fantastic in that game. I didn't mention that up front, but Emmanuel Wilson spelling Josh Jacobs really a lot in the second half was great. You saw a little extra burst in the run game, and I hope we get to see more of that because Marshawn Lloyd is in witness protection program, Tay.
I just feel so bad for that situation. It sucks. We're never seeing that guy.
I'm at the point where, I just don't think it's ever going to come to fruition for Mr. Lloyd, unfortunately.
I see things out there like MVP candidate for Love after this game. I mean, what is your take on that? Like, do you buy into that, or is this just like what we have to plaster up after an amazing game by Love, but what we have to plaster up there because we have to put up something?
Well, I mean, when you look at where he sits, if you put up his numbers this season, for example, Josh Allen's been a perennial MVP candidate the last 3 years. If you put those two guys up against each other, average yards per game, touchdowns so far in the season, interceptions, Jordan's only got 2, Tay. All those things, Jordan's having a much better year than a guy who's a perennial MVP candidate. In fact, Drake May is, I think, sitting at like 4th in the Vegas betting odds right now for MVP, higher than Jordan Love, which is crazy town. So, I think it's at least worthy of some talk, no doubt.
Yeah, I think it's way too soon. I know this. Well,
go ahead. I'm sorry.
I just think it's way too soon. I personally need to see a couple more of these games like this, where it's just like, okay, yeah, he's doing it. He's got it. I just don't like and feel comfortable putting him in that category basically after one game, right? Like that wasn't talked about before this Sunday night game. It just wasn't. And so is that all it takes for people? I guess so. It's just I'm looking for a little more. I need more games like this strung together. Just kind of generally, like I feel like the Packers, we need one of these games again this Sunday to kind of feel good about this.
I agree. I mean, you're not wrong, but if you've seen those pieces plastered, all over the internet with regard to Jordan and Aaron through this many games through the third season as starter, Jordan's got more wins. He's got basically the same amount of touchdowns, and I want to say one or two less interceptions today.
Yeah.
And listen, Aaron Rodgers was probably the best pure passer we ever saw as a Green Bay Packer quarterback. I don't think Jordan gets enough love. Definitely not from you. Never has.
No, I'm not trying to be a Debbie Downer here, but
I'm not trying to pick on you either. But I'm saying,
yeah,
we've got a really good quarterback on our hands here at age 27, Tay, who can be a very, very great Green Bay Packer quarterback for the next decade, and give him an opportunity to win a Super Bowl or two over that time. So,
I'm
MVP candidate this year, I don't know, but certainly, yeah, if he keeps putting together as this season rolls on down, and he puts up, let's say, how many games are left? 9 games for the Packers, something like that, and he has 5 more games like he had on Sunday. Yeah, he's in the conversation.
Yeah. I'm just not ready quite yet. We got a comment from YouTube here, Ren. I don't know if you can see that, but I got a comment from Tyler. Do you think Morgan and Ryan splitting right guard throws off line continuity? I wish they'd just pick someone and stick with them. They have been kind of playing line carousel here, and it seemed to work out this past Sunday night, but you have to worry about that. And I don't know. I think they're just kind of either playing the hot hand, or they're just trying everybody out and giving someone a better an opportunity to rise to the top.
Yeah, I agree with Tyler a little bit. You'd like to see a little consistency online. Jordan Love's barely been sacked in the last 4 games today. So the pass pro has been fantastic. And in fact, Jordan Morgan, I think he was the 3rd best rated Packer per Pro Football Focus on Sunday. So just, find a spot for him and let's go. We know, unfortunately, Sean Ryan is going to be a free agent at the end of the season along with Rasheed Walker. So, I'd like to find a consistent spot for Jordan, but I think they'll continue to do that if the situations call for it. And they want to see what they have and where they can solidify this line. But we all know a consistent offensive line that they roll out, barring health, is something Jordan, I'm sure, wants as well. That who you're playing with, that their strengths and weaknesses. But definitely, pass pro has been their biggest strength so far this year. The run game piece is still leaving a bit to be desired as far as yards per carry, that kind of stuff, opening up the right holes. Again, we know Josh plays with reckless abandon, and he just can take hits and continue to roll out there. But again, we want to see some fresh legs as well. So again, going back to Tyler, I'd like to be a little bit more consistent with where guys are at.
Well, we're going to stick with Tyler here quick because he brought up another question here. I'll put up in a second, but trade deadline is this Tuesday, Ren, November 4th at 3 p.m. Central Time. And there has been a lot of, talk. This is the time to do it. Like, hey, this team should be trading for this position or these people in particular. But Tyler, again, says, I love our team, but I think, if we're going to make a run to the Super Bowl, we need to make some moves in the secondary. Go get Asante Samuel Jr. or trade for someone. Your thoughts on that? And I have seen, talk about trades for a CB, a cornerback. What's your gut tell you right now? What are you thinking? And will this team actually do anything?
I mean, we know generally the trade deadline comes and goes, Tay, without the Packers doing anything, even when they are good and have an opportunity to go deep in the playoffs or potentially this year. I think it's anybody's ball game that's a good team in the NFL this year to go grab one and get a Super Bowl win. So I would certainly do something. I still say they're a little weak on the D line. That's where I'd go first because good D-line play helps weak cornerback play. You get there a little quicker. Just taking a half second to a second off those cornerbacks makes them look a lot better, even if they're a little weak at that position overall. So that's where I'd go first. Games are won and lost with the trenches. We know that. Tyler asked about obviously the O line, and now I'm going to the D line. Would I be sad if they brought in another reasonable cornerback? Not at all. Obviously, we saw Michael Robinson get plucked off the practice squad by the Titans this week. Yeah. Wasn't real keen on that. We know it's already a thin room to begin with, and it's a guy you just drafted in the 7th round. You hope he would have been around to, continue to develop, but it's just one of those things. So yeah, Tyler, if they go get a cornerback, I won't be upset about it. But I would start with an interior defensive lineman on an expiring contract first. Somebody that's decent, but obviously you don't have to pay a lot for. The Packers have midseason move coffer money, and that's the route I'd go.
Yeah, my gut says no, they won't do anything. They'll stick with what they have. I think they kind of played all their cards, put all their chips in with the Micah trade, and it just doesn't seem like the Packers thing to do. Should they? Yeah, it would be great. Like right now you're poised to push, right? And you might as well try to do it if you think you can with a certain guy, go do it. But I just think they're too conservative, especially after the Micah trade. It just doesn't seem likely to happen.
Well, and that's the thing. I mean, they are conservative. That's why if they do make a move, Tay, it's not going to be anything that anybody's like, oh, it's so great. Look at this guy. It's going to be, listen, I mean, when you look back at, the 2010 move, and you look at guys like Howard Green, that wasn't a big move, but it was a huge move, Tay. And, Howard Green had a huge play in the Super Bowl, and that's all you need from a guy like that. You don't need like play after play after play, but you need a guy who you can plug in, he can play solid, and he's going to get you a play here and there, and it can make a huge difference.
Yeah. Let's move on to injuries right away, Ren. I'm going to throw up the injury report here, and looky, we have less guys than the other team.
And you did what I've been asking for, Tay.
I know.
Very nice. Well
thank
done.
You. The did not participate is Nick Nyman, the linebacker. He looks pretty bad. It sounds like Matt LaFleur was saying it doesn't look good.
He's a good special teamer too, man.
Yeah. So
without playing a single snap on defense. So
Lucas Van Ness did not participate with the foot. I'm not sure what that outlook looks like. He didn't play last week, so I'm not sure. This probably not this week. Dontavian Wicks also did not participate. I don't know what his status is. I didn't hear Matt LaFleur talk about him specifically or Van Ness really to any extent. So I'm not really sure what's going on there, how long this will be, but I would just probably write those guys off right now. You got Christian Watson back as a wide out again. So you have a little more depth than you did before Wicks went out. So that's fine. Everybody here, I think, is limited. I think Brandon McManus kicked today. Matt LaFleur said he was going to kick today.
Do you want him to kick today? I know Haversick's out of town now, but goodness, it was not a great outing for. I thought they really did bring him back a week too early.
Yeah, it could be. Maybe you should have brought him back this week when he's at home, and then you get another home week the following 2 weeks in a row. Hindsight, but something's not quite right yet. And it's about par for the course for our wee fence out there.
Certainly is.
And they got a ton of did not participates on the Carolina roster, but some of these guys won't play at all. And some of them don't even scare me too much, but that just gets into Ren.
You want to read some off? Because I can't read whatever that is. I need some bifocals or a magnifier.
Ren, you got to get in close.
I'm getting old, Tay.
Brady Christensen, the offensive line. Andy Dalton did not participate. I think he was questionable going into this week. I don't know.
So is Bryce. So
yeah,
playing quarterback, Tay?
He was full participation. I think you're going to see.
Bryce was?
Yeah, okay. Today. You got Trevin Wallace, linebacker. Princely, I cannot pronounce his last name because it is also too small, Ren. Nick Scott,
You just don't want
safety.
to do it.
Taylor Moulton, tackle. Cade Mays, center. And those are all the did not participates. And everyone else was basically full. So, yeah, you got a kind of a laundry list there. I'd be worried if I was a Panthers fan, but whatever. We'll get back to moving on to the Panthers. Let's do that. Noon tilt in Lambeau Field. We're back home again. It feels good. But this Carolina Panthers team is 4-4. They're second in their division.
Yep.
To the Buccaneers, who are winning. I think they're 6-2. But we're at home in our new throwbacks. And don't worry, Romeo Doubs has the Guardian correct helmet.
He's got the blue pullover.
Yeah, the paint. It's painted too. I'm sure there's. So I think it was an official Packer picture out there today of him with the dome.
It looks so goofy to begin with, but yeah,
I know. But the Panthers, you can explore a little bit more with me, but their offense isn't great. Their defense is better than their offense.
Tay, you don't have the logo mashup for me?
I don't. I figured it might, mess with your internet connection, and we didn't want to,
Gotcha.
do that. But the running backs, Chuba Hubbard and Rico Dowdle, are individually amazing, but Chuba Hubbard was out for a few weeks, and Dowdle came in and just dominated. But now they're both back and both healthy, which I almost think is a detriment to this Panthers team. I don't think they can figure out who to give the ball to, who they want to give. If it's just one of them, it seems like it's awesome and fine. But right now, I don't know who the better back is. I mean, they obviously Chuba Hubbard's number one.
I would say Dowdle's the better back, and he's the number one back.
I would agree too, but I just don't know how they're going to play him. And I feel like it's almost a detriment that they have both of them, that they should play only one. If they only had one, right? And then you got ETN. I think he's the other kind of mixed back.
Scat back, the quicker guy.
Yeah.
Change of pace guy. I mean, obviously Dowdle came over from the Cowboys. He's averaging 4.5 carry today. So very, very solid. On the season, not a great performance, by the way, for the Packer run D with Jaylen Warren last week. He was gashing at times in that game. Mm-hmm. But overall, the Packer run D, I think they allow 3.8 yards carry on the season, which is pretty fine number. So they've been rather solid there. We'll see if that continues. Obviously, didn't continue in the Pittsburgh game, but that's just one aspect of this football game upcoming.
I don't really know a lot of these wide receivers. They're tight ends. I don't know any of those people. Honestly, they're not on any of my radars. That, like, Renfrow is the only one I recognize.
And his career is basically done. They brought him in, kind of a reclamation project. He was out of the league last year. Really, it's the rookie we would have liked to see in Green Bay if he was still on the board, and Tetairoa McMillan. He's averaging, I want to say, about 84 yards a game. So he is their main pass catcher. And again, they just don't have a lot of those guys out there today. This is a very inexperienced pass catching group, and not a lot of guys that you would fear, even from the tight end room. So I don't know if you know, obviously the Red Rifle, the Red Rocket did play last week. He was sacked 7 times. 7.
Love it.
I guess Bryce is going to play. I mean, I don't fear that any more than Dalton. It's not a great line there. I wish Van Ness was back, because we saw it in the Pittsburgh game. I mean, at times they're tripling Micah. Mm-hmm. And if you had one extra competent guy, which we know Van Ness at this point is competent, we could see these sack totals for the Packers go up, and obviously have a big game on Sunday.
Yeah, no doubt. That would be awesome. I wish he was back too. I just it's doubtful. I think he plays at all this week. So yeah, the Panthers are coming into town. I see, don't let this be a trap game, Packers, please. And it's like, yeah, I get it. But I think I hope they learn their lesson a little bit with like the Browns or whatever, and they're not going to do that. Obviously, Matt LaFleur preaches that to no end, but does it actually work? Does it actually go into the players' ears? I don't know, but they're back home, so maybe that's a little incentive to keep this thing going. And I think they all got probably pats in the back, accolades from their contemporaries about their performance against the Steelers. I think they're feeling it. They're feeling confident, and they should they should be taking care of business. I'm looking at, we're talking 27 was the average here, and they just pulled off 35 on Sunday night. So I'm going to go with a little more less than that. I think I'm going to say 27-17 Packers over the Panthers.
You went back to the magic number today. I chose 27 last week because it is the Packers' magic number. It was in their four wins prior. I'm going to say 30 this week, Tay. Not 35, but 30-17 Pack. The Panthers do have a reasonable secondary. They can play a little bit. But that's the thing. I'm going to rewind the tape a little bit to the trade talk. I know we see that Wicks is again on that injury report. I just wonder, man. I mean, they've got so many guys. If that can be a chip to get you a guy you'd like, because he is going to be a free agent. He's a great route runner. I'm not saying I want to see Dontavian Wicks go out of the building. I actually like Wicks and his upside, but if he's the guy they don't plan to re-sign, that's a decent trade chip that somebody else can say, hey, we'd love to bring him on board, see what he can do for us the rest of the season, and maybe sign him to a longer-term contract. And, when you look at the ball's got to get spread around, and now you got Tuck and obviously Matthew Golden, you got Watson back. We know they signed him to an extension, really, which is just a one-year add-on, kind of like a fifth-year deal. From there, you still have Romeo. There's so many guys in the room, and we expect Jaden Reed to come back around, the first week in December, somewhere around there. There's just really not a spot for him at that point in time. You'll still have Heath then as your extra guy there. Could be something that happens, man.
Do you think if Wicks was healthy, those Heath balls would have gone to Wicks? Would have been Wick balls?
I mean, he would have been in there getting that play time over Heath for sure. But maybe they're just, hey, we do have a trade chip here, so we're not gonna press him to service this week because we know he's almost ready to go again, and teams don't want to trade for an injured player, so maybe he's on the injury report again just because. Tay.
Right on. I know you're out of state right now, but are you back for Sunday? Are you going to this game?
I am going to the game.
Nice.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Taking my youngest, so
okay.
I should roll in either late Friday night. There's a chance I don't get back till Saturday, but likely late Friday night. And get that extra hour of sleep. Unfortunately, got to roll back the clocks today for daylight savings ending. And everybody gets an extra hour of sleep, which will be nice in that regard. But dark at 4:30, not my friend. So,
well, I expect lots of updates and pictures from Lambeau Field. I'm making promises to Packer Universe for you. So,
my little guy, he struggles when they struggle. So that's why I picked the Panther game. As when we circled the whole season, like, where can I pick that should be an easy dub? But we know the easy dubs come the hardest.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the problem.
Well, get there early, go to the pro shop, get yourself some new swag, Ren. This podcast brought to you by the Packers Pro Shop.
Yeah, we know you can't help yourself, Tay.
So, I'm looking forward to it. Should be a good one. Is it noon? It feels like it's been forever since we have a noon game. So that'll be fun.
It's been forever since we had a home game. It'll be about a month when this thing kicks on Sunday, November 2nd.
All right, Ren, I'll let you go. Get back to the hunt, and we will talk after the game sometime Sunday afternoon for our first takeaway with Tay and Ren on the Packer Universe podcast. Appreciate all the comments in the live chat, and appreciate everyone showing up, watching, and checking us out. So, until then, Ren, thanks for joining me, and we'll see everyone soon.
Yeah, always a pleasure talking Green Bay Packer football. with you, Tay. And until the first take, and then episode 333, Tay, on the pup list.